I am not wearing mascara. I don't have a mascara with me right now, so I apologize for that. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel if you haven't been here before. And if you haven't been here before, please subscribe to be a part of the bilingual family, which is mostly me trying to speak English. So in today's video, I want to talk about the new Skin Realist Beautifying Tinted Balm from Nabla Cosmetics. They brought out some kind of tinted moisturizer-ish kind of product, and I have a review and a wear test for you later in this video, so I'm really excited to bring this out to you. So what is Nabla Skin Realist? Skin Realist is a beautifying tinted balm with hyaluronic acid microspheres that perfects skin texture. Its creamy and adherent texture is a hybrid of makeup and skincare. Blending seamlessly with the skin, it evens out the complexion and instantly gives a fresh, healthy, lifted, plumper appearance with a radiant and smoothing finish. Rich in active ingredients, the Skin Realist formula acts like a treatment to promote the synthesis of collagen and elastin for an immediate and long-lasting effect. Every shade of Skin Realist is flexible and it can adapt to multiple skin tones thanks to its sheer, buildable light coverage. Finding your shade has never been this easy. Well, I beg to differ, but we're gonna get into that. So basically, the Skin Realist is a tinted balm, or like a tinted moisturizer that is going to give you sheer coverage, so a very light coverage, with a very dewy finish. It also says that your skin is up to 31% more hydrated. Now, as somebody with dry skin, that is obviously something that I love to hear. I also had their previous foundation, which is the Nabla Close-Up foundation. I didn't really like that one. I found it to be very matte on my skin. Now, there are 7 shades to choose from, and like Nabla says, they're supposed to be adaptable. Now, I picked up the shade 1 Fair, and I can immediately tell you that anyone that is even slightly lighter than me is not going to get away with this color. And it goes without saying that, unfortunately, 7 shades, I was extremely disappointed when I saw that there were only 7 shades. Even for something that is sheer and maybe can cover a range of skin tones, I don't find it to be a lot of shades, especially when you know that even though Nabla is a smaller brand, they had the budget for 30 shades in their close-up line. So I feel like 15 shades would have been better, like half of what the foundation, the close-up line has, and I definitely feel like the budget was there if you look at the fact that there was budget for the previous foundation. So 7 shades, despicable. I really don't like that. The Skin Realist Beautifying Tinted Balm retails for 30 euros, which in my opinion is maybe a little bit expensive, but on the other hand, you get 48 ml of product, which is 18 ml more than the average foundation. And then what I really like is that you have this little thing right here, and there it says Skin Realist loves you from the inside. How beautiful. And also really remarkable about this packaging, and it's something that I really enjoy, is the fact that when you pump out product, you have this little kind of like mechanism right here, and it basically pushes up the product. It's kind of like the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So there is no product waste, as Nabla says on the website, because you use every single ounce of product that is inside of this. So the final thing before we go into the demonstration of the product is the fact that this is made in Italy, and it's 100% vegan and cruelty free, which is amazing as always. Yesterday I applied the tinted balm to my face, and then I went to work, so I did like a 10-hour wear test, I would say. I think I applied it around 10 in the morning, and I took it off at like 8 o'clock at night, more like 9 o'clock at night actually. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at the wear test.
Welcome to the voiceover part of this video. So first, we're gonna apply the foundation. So I did my foundation in 3 ways. First, I actually used my fingers on the first side of my face, as you can see here. And as you can see, blending it out was fairly easy. I was actually really surprised by how skin-like that first layer looked, but I was still missing a little bit of coverage for my personal preference, especially since I'm dealing with a burned chin due to drinking hot tea. I know, I am wonderful. But I really found that applying this with fingers was a really nice way of making it look extremely natural. And as you can see, it really gave a really nice sheeniness to my face. Next up, I went in with a brush. My findings there were that it has a lot more coverage with a brush and it blends out a little bit more. Fingers was definitely a better way of blending this out, but it works and it looks really nice. Now, my least favorite way of applying this is with a sponge. I feel like it really soaks up all of the product, and as you can see, the coverage that you get is almost none. Even though I was working with a sponge, I still felt like applying it with fingers gave it a lot more like the skin-like finish, which is surprising because usually that's what a sponge does for me. A sponge gives me that skin-like finish. But with this tinted balm, it was definitely like fingers won the application journey. So this is a little bit of a close-up of my skin after applying it. Very nice sheen, very almost skin-like finish. I look glowy, I look moisturized. It does look a tad more emphasized in like my pore area, but I blame that on the sunscreen that I was wearing. And this is the finished makeup look. I did powder this, like I said, because I had to go to work. And working with a very dewy tinted balm or foundation is just a nightmare. So the foundation definitely faded a little bit around my cheek area and on my burnt chin, but in the areas where I wasn't wearing my mask, it was still looking okay-ish, maybe a little bit texturized, but that's due to the powder. Which is me during my break. So the foundation still pretty much looks like it did before. A little bit faded on the cheeks, not as much on the forehead. But yes, looks kind of nice even though I did powder it. But this was kind of to show you how it looks with powder for oily skin types. I would never wear it like this. And then this is the final check-in after I was done working. So as you can see, the foundation definitely faded on my nose and my chin, which is where my mask obviously touches my face really badly, but nonetheless you could still see some kind of layer that was still left. So I think if you have oily skin and if you set it with powder, no, it has a lot of longevity if you do it like that. Personally, I will never do this with powder again because I have dry skin, but you can see on my forehead that pretty much all of the foundation is still intact.
So I would definitely say, especially after seeing the wear test, that this is not necessarily a foundation that is, especially on initial application, suitable for oily skin. And it's so incredibly glowy. This is one of the most glowy finishes I have seen. You could also see it in the clips where I applied it, like it is luminous. But even when I was just applying this on my face today, I was like, oh, I have to be careful with this or I might have actually looking greasy. Because of that reason, I feel like it's definitely a foundation if you have oily skin that you will have to set with powder. If you set it, it's very long wearing. I feel like the formula is very adherent, very spreadable, but it stays in place once you kind of leave it where it is. It feels tacky on the skin for sure, but it's not necessarily very transferable. So all in all, even though I'm still testing it, I only tested it for 3 days. I think my first impressions on this foundation are really good. I'm really happy that I tried it with powder, like fully set it with powder because I was going to work, and then today and Friday without powder. I definitely prefer it without powder, but that's just because I have dry skin, and I'm actually really surprised by this formula. I think it's a beautiful formula, very appropriate for dry skin and just like summery days where you want to look extremely glowy. In terms of the makeup and skincare hybrid, I'm not sure. It definitely gives the appearance of moisturized skin, but I'm not sure if it actually moisturizes my skin. I really like the coverage on this. I really like the fact that you can build it up, so it is buildable as well. I really think it's a successful launch in the terms of formula. I really like the formula, and I think this might be one of those tinted balms, tinted moisturizers, foundations that I actually really like. In terms of shades, it's just such a huge miss. But like I said, for the price, the formula is really amazing and you get a lot of products. I really like the packaging. But yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to say about the Nabla Skin Realist Beautifying Tinted Balm. I will definitely be featuring it in probably like a Shop My Stash very soon, so I can update you with thoughts. But for now, I really enjoy this formula and I really recommend it to people who have dry skin to very dry skin. I feel like it's definitely a formula that looks like a second skin. Obviously, you can always tell when someone is wearing makeup, especially if they look like this. But this is coming very close to that, almost like it's a second skin type of look. So yeah, I really recommend it. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not gonna say I'm obsessed with it, but it's getting really close to I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, I'll update you on my thoughts, and that's it for today's video. So please subscribe if you haven't already, leave a like or a comment down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!